Illicit drug use is as prevalent as ever, especially amongst young people. Senior Constable Nathan Warner of the Queensland Police Service talks about some of the initiatives that could potentially curb this behaviour.
I don't think there's anywhere near enough education. I'd like to see people from late primary school age getting counselled in relation to drugs and alcohol, and I think it's important that parents teach their kids about the effects of drugs and alcohol at an early age, because they're going to see it more and more. And I think people need to know that when they use drugs and they use alcohol, they need to know what some of the consequences might be. And I think people need to know where some of these drugs come from and the places that drugs are manufactured. I think if people knew the half of where it came from, they wouldn't be using those drugs in the first place. So I don't think it's a police job that we should be counselling people and providing education. I don't think it's teachers. I think it's probably more something that a professional should deliver to young people in schools, universities, TAFE colleges, and a person that's better educated about something that's bad for them is less likely to go down that path. A decent deterrent for a drug offence would be either imprisonment or putting something back into the community. Actually having a deterrent there that people can see, so that when they think about using drugs, that they weigh up the option of getting, if I get caught, this could happen to me, as opposed to the current system where people know that if they get caught with a minor amount of cannabis, that they're probably going to be given a small fine or probation or sent to a counselling session that they're not going to pay any attention to. And so they think that, first of all, it's okay to use drugs because the community's been quite lenient with it in the past. People need professional counselling. They need professional detox and rehabilitation programs. More of those programs available to more people would be a good thing. And I also think that as part of a court deterrent, as well as putting back into the community, I also think that courts should be making people go into a real rehabilitation program and sticking to that program, because it's one thing to start one, but it's another thing if you don't finish it. So
Miss Kate Leslie had a similar story to tell when she shared her experiences while working at the Queensland Department of Child Safety.
When you are looking at your friends the way you would have looked to your parents for advice or support at the age of 9 or 10, you're not only asking a child or young person to deal with their drug and alcohol issue, you're asking them to change their entire existing support network, no matter how destructive that is. So I think that drug education is probably the most effective way of keeping kids safe when they are using drugs, because majority of the time they're using drugs together. I think early education and access to information is very, very important. I think that providing information to, whether it be to parents or to schools or to the young people directly, about harm minimisation, about the effects of drugs, about safer ways of using drugs, is very, very important, because I think that if kids are going to use drugs, they're not going to tell their parents about it, they're not going to tell their teachers about it, but if they've got the information before getting to that point, then it will hopefully help them make better decisions.